Hello and welcome to our coverage of the WNBA on 2K Sports.
In this game, we'll see the Phoenix Mercury going up against the Minnesota Lynx. This is Blake Suniga alongside Tim Swartz and Brian Benefitemi, and we're excited for some 2K hoops.
Mercury foul.
And there's the foul called on Whitcup. That's her first foul. And guys, you have to admire the way these two teams play. They're all about ball movement.
I mean, you look at the stat sheet, look at the assist numbers these teams put up. There's not too much hero ball going on. They're unselfish.
Yeah, both sides are focused on working the ball around and generating the best shot possible. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, the great shooters, they know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice there.
Yeah, not very good defensive coverage that time. The T got lucky.
Thomas. Pass to Brown. Clock at 6. Shepard pulls it in.
And she doesn't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions.
Collier outside. Shepard the screen. Three-pointer. And it's Collier missing. Phoenix with the ball. And when it comes to defensive prowess, there's not too many players that can impact a game like Nafisa Collier.
It gets overlooked sometimes because of her offense, but Nafisa is outstanding on defense. She's the kind of player that opposing coaches have to game plan for at both ends.
And just around a minute and a half into this first quarter. Pass to Osborne. Now here's Thomas, covered by Smith. Now here's Whitcomb. Here's Osborne. The three is up. And again, Phoenix no good. Collier outside. Pass to McBride. No good. Had a chance to take the lead. A few unsuccessful trips in a row, and we're still knotted up. Now Whitcomb. Now Thomas, covered by Smith. Outside Whitcomb. Here's Osborne. Here's Thomas. The Mercury with another miss.
She just assumes she's going to knock those down when she's as open as she was there.
Here's McBride. And that puts them in the lead.
Catalyst of the team, McBride is depended on for buckets, and I'll tell you, she usually delivers.
Now here's Thomas. Pass to Brown. Whitcomb with it. Brown sets a screen. This one for three, and Sammy Whitcomb gets the three.
A true sniper. Defenses should know that Whitcomb will be hunting for these looks.
And 2023 was a frustrating season for the Mercury, a 9-31 record.
The second worst record in team history as they missed the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. They were dead last in defensive rating. So if you want to talk about a big improvement, it's got to start there.
Thomas, covered by Smith. Pass to Osborne. Whitcomb with it. Launches a three. It's hauled in by Smith.
It's been a bit of a struggle for her this quarter in terms of scoring the ball.
Here's Ipupa. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And here's McBride. Puts up a three. And the Lynx another three.
Shots are falling. She's having a strong quarter.
Pass to Atwell. Expanding her range. Offensive board. Count that one.
You've got to be aware of Thomas there. She's one of the best on the O boards.
The Lynx leading. Here's Ipupa. Now here's Shepard. Collier left side. The kick out to McBride. Takes the three. The three-pointer is on target.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show she's putting on this quarter.
To the inside. And so she draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. This is her first trip to the free throw line tonight.
At the line for Mercury, Alyssa Thomas. 2 shots.
And she knocks down the first one. So both teams making some changes here. Both good at the line. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. The Lynx on top, up by 4. And the second quarter is on the way when we return. And the first quarter in the books, second about to get underway. And from what we've seen from the Lynx, what's your take so far?
Some great defense on their part so far in this one.
They've really worked well as a unit to help on drives and rotations.
The Mercury trail. Pass to Sabali. Whitcomb sets a screen. Here's Uzan. The three-pointer, no good. Here's Minnesota. The drive by Caleb McBride. And that one good.
On the drive, McBride can be so dynamic, which helps her beat the defense.
Well, who doesn't love a guard who can be prolific while also being efficient? That's what Caleb McBride does. She makes very few bad plays.
Well, it starts with great shot selection, right? She makes the smart pass rather than the flashy one. She keeps the turnovers to a minimum, and she's someone you trust to read the floor and make good choices.
McBride with the ball. 13 points in this game. Outside Williams. Fires from deep. The shot, no good. Phoenix with the ball. A 4-point game. To the right side. The three ball. Rebound by the Lynx.
You don't want to give up that kind of look often.
They're very lucky they didn't get burned.
And stolen by Satu Sabali. Second quarter of basketball, just over 1.5 minutes played so far. Whitcomb misses.
I'm not sure why she keeps trying her luck from deep. It's just not working for her.
Now Williams. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for her. Here's Uzan. Shoots the three. Offensive rebound. Here's Mack, guarded by Juhas. Another shot. Uzan misses.
You know, she's disappeared this quarter, not making a mark at all with her offense.
And you know she'll be happy to get this period over and done with and just start fresh.
Pass is on Dallasini. Juhas. And Williams gets it to go.
No fear, Williams is normally the smallest player on the floor, but she can operate down low with her toughness.
Now a timeout called by Phoenix. And so here's Phoenix. They trail by 6.
And in 2023, Minnesota finished as the 6th seed with a record of 19-21.
Well, Minnesota missed the playoffs in 2022, which ended their 11-year postseason streak. But they regrouped, and in 2023, they took the Sun the full 3 games in the first round, almost pulling off the huge upset. But what was most important was getting back to the postseason.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
And it's the Mercury with the ball. And here's Billings. She hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Sabali with it. Smith is there. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Uzan. It's hauled in by the Lynx.
She just has not been able to make anything this quarter.
Pass to Smith. McBride. Now here's Shepard. And here's Smith, guarded by Sabali. Her first shot coming late. Smith, no good. Now Billings. Down low. And so she earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and she'll shoot 2.
First team foul
And it's going to go on Alana Smith.
at the line.
Well, if you wanted to give someone an example of a new era big, Satu Sabali certainly fits the bill.
Well, she's 6'4", but she can really shoot it from deep, and what a great shot blocker she is as well. Sabali moves like a guard, a huge matchup problem.
And the first one falls for her.
And for Satu Sabali, the WNBA is a family affair.
Her sister Naira is also in the league. Satu is more of a shooter, while Naira is a big. However, they both represent the German national team.
She's perfect from the line this time. And here are the Lynx now.
Here's Ipupa.
Looking for her first basket still in this one. Collier takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
Great to see her score inside. Collier is an all-around forward, capable of scoring in a variety of ways, including in the paint.
Now here's Sabali.
Pass to Osborne.
Now it's Atwell. Thomas. Outside Whitcomb. It's not going to go for her. Courtney Williams with the defensive effort.
Another miss. She's having an ugly game offensively.
Here's Shepard. She's covered by Thomas. Here's Collier. It's rebounded by Sabali.
Not only is the game neck and neck, but the rebounding battle is too. Very tight game on the boards.
Yeah, both teams have put in a terrific effort down low.
Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Lynx ahead, leading by just 1. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break, and we'll see if one can pull away in the third. What can you say? McBride, an impressive effort here today.
It's amazing to watch. She spoils us with her performances game in, game out. And so far, another big scoring night for her.
And oftentimes when she puts up that many points in the first half, she follows it up with an even better second half. So we'll see if that happens again here.
The Mercury trail. Pass to Atwell. Now Brown. Thomas outside. Brown with it. She's guarded by Shepard. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Thomas. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. And here are the Lynx now. Here's Ipupa. No scoring yet from her, but that's likely to change. Here's Shepard. No good on the 3.
Very close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Not a great habit to get into, letting her get that wide open.
Now here's Thomas. Pass to Atwell for the lead. Rebound, Kayla McBride. Here's Minnesota. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Back to Smith. Now here's McBride. Here's Collier. Off target with the 3.
Well, the last title for the Mercury came back in 2014, and that team was historically good.
Maybe the best team in league history. 29-5 record in the regular season, 8-1 in the playoffs, and they had a stacked roster. Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, Dewana Bonner, they helped lead Phoenix to their second title.
Collier, that's good.
Love the versatility in the pick and roll. Collier can either set the screen or work off the screen.
And the Mercury call time here. And Tim, you talk about never giving up. Sammy Whitcomb graduated college in 2010. Didn't make her W debut until 2017. That's perseverance.
Yeah, a 28-year-old rookie. Sammy never gave up on that dream of playing in the league. In college, you think about, her three-point shooting was good. It was 33%. But in the W, that number is about 37, 38%. And that improvement is why she has a spot here in the league.
Minutes into the second half of play now. Pass to Atwell. Outside Whitcomb. Shot clock at 6. Fires for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. The Lynx trailing. Collier outside. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. And the basket by McBride.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I wasn't sure they should try to get the 3 right back like that, but hey, it worked out for them.
Now here's Brown. She's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Pass to Whitcomb. Here's the 3. And the Mercury, another three.
Wow. Whitcomb had the answer locked and loaded. She can be a fearsome three-point shooter.
Shepard with it. Inside. Collier inside. Whitcomb defending. And that one's good. Collier.
Uses every bit of her strength to overpower the defense. Collier does not fear contact.
Pass to Brown. Now Thomas. Here's Osborne. Thomas outside. Here's Osborne. Whitcomb. McBride covering. Whitcomb misses. The Lynx leading. McBride with the ball. Lays it up and banks it in.
She's been one of their more reliable options today, and it's her shooting that has given them this lead.
Pass to Atwell. Osborne. To the middle. Back to Brown. Whitcomb with it. Fires it. Misses the deep three-point attempt.
It hasn't been a very good day for her, guys, and her team really needs her, desperately needs her to start burying those shots.
Here's Ipupa. Quiet so far offensively, searching for her first points of the game. That beats a Collier for three. Brown grabs the board. Pass to Atwell. Osborne. Now here's Thomas. McBride covering. Fades back. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. 3/4 of play and a close game here. Lynx ahead, leading by 3. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the 4th quarter. A terrific game so far. And here's Williams. Pass to McBride. Back to Williams. Now McBride for three. Mack grabs the miss.
Well, with a clear look at the basket, she doesn't really miss a lot of those.
Outside Sabali. Here's Uzan. Here's Mack. Pass to Sabali. Uzan. She's guarded by Williams.
Absolutely no fear, guys. Mixing it up in the paint with bigger players.
Here's Zandalasini. Guarded by Sabali. Now Carlton. Here's Kayla McBride from the arc. Off target, her 6th miss in 13 attempts from the floor. Here's Billings. McBride covering. Pass to Sabali. Here's Uzan. To tie it up. Rebound by Uhas.
This has been a brutal day for her. She still has not made one shot. Not a single one. No wonder they're struggling. Good pass work. The assist was right on target.
They really want to find that igniter here.
That's right. Their offense is ground to a standstill.
Maybe you need to suit up, Tim. They need a spark. Drains the three-pointer.
Really good at working off the ball. You see Sabali find space and make well-timed cuts. She just gets it.
Minnesota calls a timeout. just a tiny lead for them.
A chance to make it a little bigger right here, though.
To the paint. It's stolen by Alyssa Thomas.
Pass to Osborne.
Atwell. Brown with it to take the lead. It's hauled in by Smith. Collier outside. So she gets the whistle. Contact on the way up. 2 shots next.
First personal foul.
I hope he didn't think Collier would be intimidated by a little contact. She shows some real toughness inside.
2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And good on both. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone.
Here's Osborne.
To the inside, Brown. And she makes good on the layup.
You have to be mentally strong to not just take, but make the big buckets. Brown's able to come through for her team.
Here's Ipupa.
Here's Kayla McBride from the arc. Brown grabs the board. Now here's Thomas. McBride covering.
2 minutes remaining.
Alyssa Thomas on the wing to tie it up. And the layup is good.
A competitive, passionate player. Thomas fires her team up and keeps them ready for big moments. I love that about her.
Here's Ipupa.
Pass to Collier. Down low. Takes it out to Smith. Whitcomb with the steal. On the wing, Sammy Whitcomb. If you're just tuning in, welcome. We've played about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter here.
Serious guts from Whitcomb, rising to the occasion.
Here's Ipupa.
Here's Collier. Foul called that time on the way up. And that'll give her 2 chances at the free throw.
Second team.
Well, you allow someone to get to the rim like that, and really that's your only option.
Yeah, free throws are always better than a layup. I would agree with that.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 1. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. And so here's Phoenix. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Thomas. Got a piece of it.
Because of Smith's ability to lead opponents effectively, she's able to be just a quality shot blocker.
Now here's McBride. There's the triple. It's money from deep.
The vocal and emotional leader of the team. McBride's squad is in good hands when she has the basketball.
And the Mercury call time here. Now a timeout called by Phoenix.
Thomas with the ball. It's hauled in by Smith. 2 points here might be all the cushion they need.
You would think so. This game is theirs for the taking.
Collier left side. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway.
Got fancy for absolutely no good reason. Just go straight up with him.
Here's Osborne. And stolen by Smith. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
That's right. No other option but to foul and just hope for some misses.
Yeah, but they have to extend the game and use every last second on that clock.
And that hurts as she doesn't get the first one to fall. Really trying to focus now on the second. And the second of two is good. And that makes it a 3-point lead. Timeout called the Mercury.
There's still time left, so they don't necessarily need to go for the 3 if they can get an easy bucket inside.
I'm not so sure. There's not a whole lot of time to play around with. I think they look for the 3 and try to tie this thing up.
Yeah, you could do that. I think the quick 2 might be the better play. Let's see what they do.
Thomas outside, out to the wing. Here's Atwell. Off target from downtown.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's the foul.
First personal foul. Fourth team foul. At the line for Minnesota, Alana Smith. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So she gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
No mistakes there, and I think you can close the book on this one, guys.
Alyssa Thomas for 3.
On the money. So it's a narrow victory for the Lynx, pulling it out for the W. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
These are those games that are so great to win and so hard to lose. I love being on the edge of my seat, just wondering what would happen next.
That'll do it for our broadcast, everyone.